Hello, friends. Welcome to this podcast series where I share one favorite poem every day. Yesterday, I had read a couple of poems where poetry dealt with the subject of mathematics, including Mary Cornish's poem Numbers. So, I thought it would be interesting to read a couple of poems today where poetry has dealt with the subject of physics, how the faculty of poetry has dealt with the subject of physics. So, the poem I'm going to read today is called Cartoon Physics. There are two parts to this poem, just read part one. The poet is Nick Flynn. Nick Flynn's poem Cartoon Physics Part 1. Children under, say, 10 shouldn't know that the universe is ever expanding, inexorably pushing into the vacuum, galaxies swallowed by galaxies, whole solar systems collapsing, all of it acted out in silence. At 10, we are still learning the rules of cartoon animation. That if a man draws a door on a rock, only he can pass through it. Anyone else who tries will crash into the rock. 10-year-olds should stick with burning houses, car wrecks, ships going down, earthbound, tangible, disasters, arenas, where they can be heroes. You can run back into a burning house, sinking ships having lifeboats. The trucks will come with their ladders. If you jump, you will be saved. A child places her hand on the roof of a school bus and drives across the city of sand. She knows the exact spot it will skid, at which point the bridge will give, who will swim to safety and who will be pulled under by sharks. She will learn that if a man runs off the edge of a cliff, he will not fall until he notices his mistake. Of course, this is a poem which deals with the innocence of children. We all would have seen a lot of these things. You draw how cartoon characters draw a door on a rock and just pass through it, or how the cartoon characters run through the edge of a cliff and only fall when they notice that they have made that slip. All of us have seen the Roadrunner show. So that being said, what I really like is how the poem begins. It says begins with the real physics, that the universe is ever expanding, that the galaxies swallowed by galaxies. And I also like the way the lines are being broken here. Swallowed by galaxies, whole, and then there is a line break. This is an enjambment here, a forceful line break that is being used. Whole, solar systems collapsing. So, swallowed by galaxies, comma, whole solar systems collapsing. But followed by galaxies, whole, creates an effect of the size of this, the galaxies getting swallowed. Similarly, solar systems collapsing, comma, all of it acted out in silence. So each line break is actually contributing to the next line, but it is also adding meaning to the previous line. So there's the grammar of this poetry, the way this poem is structured, the forcible line breaks do great wonders in this poem. Or something like the irony that gets created later in the poem. You can run back into a burning house, something that is never possible in the universe. There is no meaning to the universe. There is no justice in the universe. It is that brutal. It is that absurd. So it kind of shows what real physics stands for. But then it also talks about how a child should look at the physical world. That innocence needs to be preserved. So yeah, despite having a very simple and humorous tone to this poem, it deals with a much deeper subject, and I really like this about this poem. There's another poem which I had initially thought I would not read because during the first episode of this podcast series, I had proclaimed, or I had declared that I will not read any of my poems during the podcast. But since the subject is physics, and I have also being a science student and an engineer, I have also dealt with these subjects in my poetry several times. So I thought I'll read a poem where the same loss of innocence is depicted in poetry. So this poem it's a poem in Hindi. It's from my previous collection of poems. Yaya were published in 2012. This poem is called भौतिकी. I'll just read the poem. भौतिकी. याद है वो दिन संदीपन जब हम रात भर जाग कर हल करते थे रेस्निक हेलिडे H.C. वर्मा इरोडोव. हम ढूंढते थे वो एक सूत्र जिसमें उपलब्ध जानकारी डाल हम सुलझा देना चाहते थे अपनी भूख, पिता का पसीना, माँ की मेहनत, रोटी का संघर्ष, देश की गरीबी. हम कभी घर्षणहीन फर्श पर फिसलते, 2 न्यूटन का बल आगे से लगता, कभी स्प्रिंग डालकर घंटों ऑक्सीलेट करते रहते और पुली में लिपट कर उछाल दिए जाते प्रोजेक्टाइल बनाकर. आइंस्टीन का समीकरण और हाइजेनबर्ग की अनिश्चितता का सही अर्थ समझा था हमने. सारे कणों को जोड़ने के बाद एहसास हुआ था, अरे एक रोशनी तो छूट गई. हमें ज्ञात हुआ था इतना संघर्ष हो सकता है बेकार. हमारे मेहनत का फल फूटेगा महज 3 घंटे की एक परीक्षा में. पर हम योगी थे. हमने फिजिक्स में मिलाया था रियल पॉलिटिक. हमने टकराते देखा था पृथ्वी से बृहस्पति को. हमने सिद्ध किया था कि सूरज को फर्क नहीं पड़ता चांद रहे ना रहे. राह चलती गाड़ी को देख उसकी सुडौलता से अधिक हम चर्चा करते रोलिंग फ्रिक्शन की. e⁻i को हमने देखा था उसके श्रृंगार के परे. हमने श्रोडिंगर की बिल्ली को टाई पहनाई थी. हमने बहती नदी में मिलाया था बर्नौली का सिद्धांत. हमने किसानों के हल में टॉर्क लगाकर जोते थे खेत. हम 2 समय यात्री थे. बिना कांटों वाली घड़ी पहन प्रकाश वर्षों की यात्रा तय की थी हमने उत्तर = 3 सेकंड लिखते हुए. आज वर्षों बाद मेरी घड़ी में कांटे हैं जो बहुत तेज दौड़ते हैं. जेब में फोन में पैसा, तुम्हारा नंबर है पर तुमसे संपर्क नहीं है. पेट में भूख नहीं बदहजमी है. देश में गरीबी है. सच कहूं संदीपन, सूत्र तो मिला, समाधान नहीं. So yeah, this how physics can be molded to different to convey different ideas. If you have a favorite poem where physics is at the center, because yesterday after I had shared the poem Numbers by Mary Cornish and a couple of other poems which dealt with mathematics, I got a few good recommendations, and it was a nice feeling to just read those poems and get acquainted to how different poets have dealt with this subject. I'm sure there are many more poems where physics has been used as a in poetry and to create good amazing poems. So if you can come up with something, if you would like to share that, please do share, and I would like to read them and enjoy those poems as well. So I'm glad that these podcasts are actually starting a conversation. I'm getting calls, and a lot of friends are actually reaching out to me personally saying that these during this time of crisis where we are all locked down in our homes, this podcast is actually a good way to engage with poetry, and I'm glad that this is the case. Also, this is the 21st or maybe 22nd episode of this podcast series. So 22 days continuously this podcast has been going on. I have uploaded these podcast episodes in YouTube as well. So if you're interested, you can watch the whole series as a playlist. I'll share that as in the comments below. And stay safe and keep reading. Happy reading. Do read a lot of poems and do write a lot of poems if you write. And thank you so much. We'll meet tomorrow again with a new poem and a new poet. Thank you so much.